Hey guys, welcome back to Trendy Gadget. Today we'll talk about why the Xiaomi Mi 11 is trash. Let's head into it. The Xiaomi Mi 11. There was a moment in recent past when Huawei, the then Chinese export champion, looked ready to strike as the next big brand. Sure, it's still huge, just less global right now, but that tables quickly turned, largely down to tumultuous political wars, locking Google services out, leaving the door somewhat open for other brands to step in Europe. Xiaomi's pushing its foot right through that gap with keen assertion. No, this other Chinese tech mega company, having released some of the earliest near bezel-free devices in the market, is no stranger to phone making, but now it's at a position, at least in design terms, where it's at the very cutting edge. So, are we looking at the next big brand that's about to blow up? No, we have no doubt that it has some good features, but overall, it's by far not a reasonable buying option. Design and performance. As is often the case with OLED panel balancing, it curtains the black somewhat when the screen is dimmed. The screen spec doesn't stop there either, reaching for the stars. It has 2000 resolution to help smooth out animations and gameplay, with an adaptive 120Hz refresh rate. Oddly, the refresh rate page calls 120Hz medium in the settings, compared to 60Hz standard with no high option, so it's not very well called. The high-spec screen is also compatible with high-spec innards. As the first device to sport the Qualcomm Snapdragon 888 platform, there's absolutely a 12GB option here, with 8GB RAM, that we don't expect for global markets. It puts heaps of core power at your fingertips, and a fair bit of heat to match. A powerful processor, even a 5nm platform such as the SD888, can't run cool exactly, so expect some hand warming as a result.
If you're playing really graphics intensive games and the heat comes at about 15 minutes, so be ready to be faced with that.
So while the setup runs your favorite games and apps at its best, enhanced by that screen's available refresh rate and resolution, it will naturally have an impact on battery life. There's a 4600 mAh cell inside this Mi 11, which is reasonable enough, and also sports its 55 watts fast charging and 50 watts wireless charging, but due to the high-end specification, it'll drain faster than your average. That's kind of good. But at the same time, it's kind of bad, because there's so much footwork to do to make everything work as you expect, and sometimes, you won't know that there's a problem with a particular app until, say, it doesn't send you a notification, which you then later find by manually opening the app itself. Back to the cameras themselves anyway. To produce 27 megapixel images, the main lens uses 4-in-1 pixel processing. These are, inevitably, still massive, 6016 by 4512 with 43 aspect ratio pixels, but there's a lot of detail stuffed in. With good results, it's a decent optic, including when shooting in low light conditions. Indeed, the night mode also does a great job of handheld long exposure shots, supported to keep things stable by the optical image stabilization system. However, the Telemarco does not have any stabilization, which can make it a bit difficult to use. You'll get some great close-ups, but with sharpness or detail, there's not the same degree of achievement, partly because it's only 5 megapixels, partly because the autofocus feedback here is limited, not entirely helpful. But hey, at least it's an autofocus macro lens, something you're barely going to find elsewhere. The competition. The Xiaomi Mi 11 isn't, however, the only new phone, so even though the phone itself may be alright, you need to compare it with the competition. That means the Samsung Galaxy S21. Welcome to a world where more is less. The Galaxy S21 is the entry-level model of a new flagship trio of Samsung, offering a convincing mix of features for the price. It starts at a more reasonable $800. It has a 6.2-inch screen that is tiny handheld friendly and doesn't bother with ridiculous 100x space zoom. You can still get that on their 1200 S21 Ultra though. You're not going to get the S Pen support for sure, but for smooth animations, the S21 still uses a high-end processor and a fast 120Hz screen. The Galaxy S21 is a distillation of the superfluous stuff that most users want and ditches it, but the S21 faces stiff competition in the land of sub-$800 Android phones.
The S21's dynamic AMOLED display is 6.2 inches, with a small punch hole for the selfie cam, and is protected by Gorilla Glass Victus.
The extra bit of metal that wraps around the top left corner is a huge improvement over the floating hump from older models. In addition to being pretty, this still leaves the surface of the rear uneven because it doesn't sit flush, but it's less pronounced. Yes, when you place the S21 on a table, there's still a slight wobble, but it's a lot less noticeable than the S20. One enhancement Samsung has made is to provide a zoom lock feature that helps to minimize shake when you're at a beyond 20x zoom. When you're at that level, a box appears on the top left of the viewfinder, and tapping it sets the the scene boundaries. Unsurprisingly, an amazing phone is the S21. It has a powerful processor, a beautiful screen, capable cameras, and a battery that is long-lasting. In eye-catching colors, it even has some useful software and a gorgeous new design. The S21 is more reasonably priced at $800 than their stablements. The Pixel 5 may be good enough for you if you prefer a pure Google experience and want to save $100. But the S21 has a more flexible camera configuration and faster processor, making it the best money-making Android phone and definitely a better buying option than the Xiaomi Mi 11. What do you think about the Xiaomi Mi 11? Do you agree that it's trash? Let us know in the comment section. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.